Hello from Mid-Wales and the Microsoft UK Challenge. Behind me, 95 teams are psyching themselves up for a brutal race, running and biking through some of Britain's most stunning countryside. But it's not just any race. Mind and body are facing the ultimate challenge, and I'm going to get out of the way. So that's the Intelligent Sport World Series off to a lively start, and things won't calm down until we've got a winner 6 months and several events from now. Over now to your commentator Rob Walker to tell you more.
Yes, thanks Rebecca. A glorious day here in Wales as Microsoft lead us out. This Intelligent Sport World Series climaxes in Portugal at the end of the year. Before that there are rounds in Norway, Brazil, South Africa, Singapore and Australia. An awful lot of work to do to qualify for that prestigious event. There's Roche's Daz, he's in second place and struggling a little bit here on the last event. Remember, these teams have been here already for a couple of days, but this is the one that counts as Matt Powell overtakes Daz, and he is a fantastic triathlete, a very fit competitor indeed. He competed in Austria in under 11 hours for the Ironman distance as he goes past the Microsoft competitor. But remember, this event is about your brain as well as your brawn, but Powell is sure to feature. So once he's done his 2.2k sprint, they then as a team head to the first brain cell after a grueling biking section. Remember, if you get those puzzles wrong, you're stuck for some number of minutes, and that's the difference between victory and defeat in this game. A lovely downhill 5k bike section into puzzle point 3, and then hold your breath. It even looks like a tough climb on the graphic, doesn't it? Before the final brain cell and the glory of the finish line. But Powell is going to be first to pick up his instructions for the event. He's down and he's up again. And it's going to be a nice sight for him as Microsoft in second place. He's had a good run. 33, that's Daz from Roche. He drifted a little bit backwards on the run, and you can now see just what a big team event this is. They've run on their own, but now they pick up their teammates, and now, with a spring in their step, they get towards the bikes and head up to the first puzzle point. Sophos out in the lead, Team 28. Airbus in second place, they're the defending champions. Kinetic in third, Lords TSB and AWE completing the leaderboard at the moment. But a very, very long way to go here. And it is going to be interesting to see how the team tactics come into play. Some of these squads, of course, are very quick between the stages, but struggle with the puzzles. Others are much better at solving those clues, but not quite so quick between the stages. Airbus waving their team members on here. They really are the most experienced outfit here. Defending champions, they are the ones to beat, no question of that.
So Tom, yeah, defending champions of the GP, how do you think you're going to fare today?
Well, I mean, obviously we did well last year, and we did well at the Worlds of the Grand Prix, so we're just going to do the same as what we've done before, really. Try and get all the questions right and just be faster than everybody else.
Yeah, you've got some good competition out there, so, you know, what are your strengths? What's going to push you ahead, do you think?
I think we're generally probably the strongest team physically here. Whether we can show that on this stage, whether we're a bit tired or not, we'll see. But it's the puzzles, I think. If you get the puzzles and you get them quickly, that can make a massive difference.
Well, the man you just heard from, Tom Gibbs, is the consummate professional in this group. He's been there for all 5 of Airbus's World Series victories, consecutive wins there. That's Sophos' Matt Powell. He's glanced across because he's seen Kinetic overtaking some of his teammates. He's quite a competitor, Powell, had a sprained ankle and wasn't sure whether he could compete. But Bandana Man is here, and so too Airbus, the defending champions, approaching Brain Cell 1 here. They've got to work out what percentage of the bricks are orange. Well, there's Kinetic just having a little bit of a wobble, and I wonder whether they'll end up walking up this hill to puzzle point 1. This is the crossover moment where you've got to start thinking clearly, despite the fact that the legs are screaming for a rest with these fabulous looking but very grueling hills.
This is where the teams start to test their brains as well as their brawn. When they reach this point, they're given a puzzle. Get it right and they continue on their way. Get it wrong and they end up in there, the dreaded brain cell, where they have to serve out a frustrating time penalty.
This is where the tactics do come into play, as I said. Now, for those of you thinking you could work this out, you're brainier than I. 72 bricks, 45 of them orange, and that percentage equates to 62.5 as Detica come in, a team who've claimed their approach to problem solving is robust. Well, they'll need to be more than robust to catch Lloyd's TSB, who've already solved this one, and they're back out onto the roads, ready for the next 5k bike section before Brain Cell number 2. And these guys are a brilliant indication of how quickly you can move through the field. They came into Brain Cell 1 in 5th place, solved it quickly, and they now have the lead. Airbus will know that Lloyd's have stolen a march on them, and they'll be keen to close that gap. There's AWE, they were the champions in 2007.
We've got tactic.
Yeah, run fast, bike fast, think fast, solve the puzzles of the brain cells. Hopefully get through them without getting caught out by them. That's the tricky bit.
It's those brain cells, isn't it, that does catch some people out. You've got to stay out of them.
Yes, that's the tricky bit of it, of course. When you're out there, you're sweaty, you've got to calm down enough to stop and think to actually solve the puzzles. And not spending too long solving the puzzle. Working out whether it's worth spending time or going into the brain cell and taking the penalty. That's the tricky bit.
Well, a great description of the tactics, and one that Airbus would do well to remember. The defending champions, the World Series champions, taking far too long here and allowing other teams to steal a march on them, like the Reds of Accenture. He's having to work pretty hard to get up that hill. They're still smiling and they're happy. Lloyd's TSB in the lead from 5th to 1st, courtesy of Brain Cell 1.
Airbus got this one right eventually. Better safe than sorry, perhaps, but they were going to need every ounce of their horsepower with some serious brain power challenging them today. You have to make use of your strength, and doing just that had put Accenture in 2nd.
Is maths a strong point for you?
Yeah, it is actually, yeah. Did it from a degree.
Less success for the early leaders.
That's wrong, sorry.
All change on the road too. AWE overtaking the leading mixed team from Accenture, while Airbus were out to overtake the lot of them and taking on AWE in a bike race here. But with Lloyd's TSB still hanging on up front, there was no reversal in the scoreboard there.
Go, just keep going, Jane. We're all together, but we've got AWE behind us. They're having a free draft.
Nothing wrong with Tour de France tactics in intelligent sport, but with those breakaway leaders Lloyd's approaching the 2nd brain cell, let's rejoin Rob Walker.
Well, it's been a solid rather than spectacular 5k bike ride from Lloyd's TSB as they arrive here at Brain Cell number 2. And it has to be said, this one is an absolute nightmare, as Rebecca can now explain.
This is the 2nd puzzle, and if maths is your subject or you happen to be a carpet fitter, then hey, no problem. If not, however, you could be in trouble.
Airbus arriving. Lloyd's doing their best to solve this one quickly, just as they did at Brain Cell number 1.
What about those brain cells, though? I hear they can be tricky.
Yeah, but the tactics are you take a couple of minutes. If you can't do it, go into brain cell, take the penalty, and get on going.
You got some tough competition out there. You gonna beat them?
We're not looking at that. We're just focusing on doing the best we can. No penalties. Get home as quickly as possible.
So 4 teams now arriving here at Brain Cell number 2. Airbus B also in contention.
That's 6. That's 6. Yep, happy with that. 1.65.
The yellow of Ensoft, they're the 5th to arrive, and you can see in the background lots of other teams arriving here at Brain Cell 2 as well.
Are you happy?
Yep. Yes, I'm happy.
Right, let's go for it.
Let's go for it, Lloyd's TSB say.
I need an answer on a written piece of
They're in the lead at the moment. Can they hang on?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, they can. They've been as good at Brain Cell 2 as they were at Brain Cell 1, and they are on their way back out onto the course for yet another 5k bike ride, this time on the tracks, and this time mainly downhill. This is a good performance so far from Lloyd's TSB.
Anyone overtake me if you want to.
Willing each other on, while the rest are left to solve the puzzle. Now, the advantage of sitting in the commentary box is that someone hands you a nice answer sheet. And the principle here is about calculating the large rectangle and taking off the other sections. I never would have got there. The answer's 201.625.
42, yeah? 42, yeah. Then you've got 6.25 for that little one there, yeah?
Yeah.
Tom Gibbs of Airbus showing his expertise there. Lots of other teams now in contention as well. More than 90 here, all working on their team building skills and all wanting to win, just as Airbus are.
Do you want to go through it, or are you happy?
Oh, I've got to write it on here, mate.
Anxious moments for these guys. They desperately want this title again. Have they got this second brain cell right? They know that Lloyds are already out on the course again.
Yep, well done, guys. Sticking here.
Yes, they have got it right.
Thank you.
The experts are doing well once again.
Hang on, boys, you ain't done it.
And there's one thing you can be sure of with these guys, they will eat this 5K section for breakfast. So these guys have avoided the brain cell so far. Rebecca's with a few teams who haven't.
Oh, guys, the dreaded brain cell. What went wrong?
Well, I don't know, really. We thought we did it right. If we knew the answer, we could tell you.
7 minutes can seem like a long, long time when you're stuck in the brain cell. There's some running repairs going on there. That's a good use of time.
Did you choose to take the penalty to sort the bike out?
Yeah, absolutely. We have good. Yes, we'll go. We're back in the race.
After 7 minutes?
After 7 minutes.
Only took 1 minute back, so.
Thank you.
Well, that's a great use of time, that, from Detica B, showing their experience. Now here's a team, 65, Capita Simons. They've solved the puzzle correctly, and now, can you believe it, they cannot find their own bikes. In their defence, when they came into brain cell number 2, there weren't many mountain bikes around. Now there are, and this is costing them valuable, valuable time. No such problems for Lloyds TSB. They are well out in front at the moment, but can Airbus reel them in?
Come on the bus.
Welcome back to the Microsoft UK Challenge. This is the first instalment of this year's Intelligent Sport World Series, and we are in the stunning Cambrian Mountains in mid-Wales. The Welsh Forestry Commission have done a superb job here. Hiking, fishing, running, mountain biking, you name it. Whatever your pursuit is, you can find it here. A stunning setting for a multi-event race. And Airbus, the defending champions, are in second place at the moment. There's a glimpse of AWE in third. And both of them chasing these guys, Lloyds TSB. They haven't been the fastest between the stages, but they've been brilliant at solving the puzzles. A real look of determination on the faces of Airbus. There's Tom Gibbs, their captain. Lloyds putting their bikes down almost in unison here as they arrive at brain cell number 3. And this one is all about observation. There are a certain number of green circles. There's one hiding in the gorse, and they've got to work out how many there are. And apparently the clue with this is you can't see them all from standing in one place. Lloyds TSB take an anxious look over their shoulders because the defending champions from Airbus are arriving, and arriving fast.
Guys, let's go for it.
Yeah, okay.
How many?
Are you ready to go for it?
I don't think so.
Lloyds TSB looking anxious because they know they are not as quick as Airbus. They're taking a gamble and it's gone wrong. And as a result of that, rather than standing in the brain cell for 8 minutes, they now have to endure a gruelling 2K hill climb. Tom Gibbs, the Airbus captain. Have they got it right? Have they got 10?
Yeah.
No, they haven't. You can see by the shake of the head of the marshal, and this is not ideal for Airbus. They will catch ground on Lloyds TSB, but they'd rather be on their way to the next brain cell. Here come AWE in third place, and they could sneak into the lead if they solve the problem. Airbus are keen to close that ground down on Lloyds TSB. One or two of them took a look over their shoulder because they can see that AWE have a chance to go into the lead.
You got there. You got there. You got there. I'll go here. Oh, that's the marked area there.
Paul Evans, well, he's not quite taking a leaf out of his own book because earlier on he told us the key to winning this was staying calm.
Another one down there, 4.
And Tom Gibbs of Airbus gritting his teeth.
How many did you count? We got 8, but it's a real lottery, that one. Difficult. And our guys are tall. They should be able to see more.
Well, sorry, Tom, being 5 foot something is no excuse. You still got it wrong.
8.
8 says AWE. Well, that lead is not going to be theirs if they stick with that answer because it's wrong.
I think they're running spreads or thing.
They're also pointed towards the agonising 2K hill climb. So still, we have yet to find a team who've got the magic number of 10. Well, here come Detica, they're in 4th place. Remember, this team, if you were watching last year, were brilliant on the puzzles, but weren't quick enough between the brain cells. Here, they've got a chance to take the lead. They said their approach to puzzle solving is robust. We can see one of the happy green faces in the foreground there. This is a key moment in this race. There's the yellow team of Ensoft, they're going well, but Detica have an opportunity here to take the lead. Sainsbury's coming in and Accenture just slightly behind them, so they are starting to pile up here. And I wonder how many of these teams will realise that first to solve this brain cell goes into the lead. Detica, they've worked their way through the field delicately. They're talking in hushed tones. Have they got the correct answer?
How easy was that?
It's difficult.
Yes, they have. They were talking in hushed tones for a reason, because they don't want any other team to get the correct answer. And Detica, the team who've got a great approach to puzzle solving, are now on their way and in the lead. And this is why this type of racing is so interesting, because Detica, as we've said before, are not the quickest, but they are in the lead. Lloyd's TSB in the lime green. They now know they're in 2nd place, and crucially, they've got that 2K hill climb in their legs, which Detica haven't. Things are starting to hot up. Could we have a new champion here this weekend?
After running out their penalty, Airbus were 4 minutes adrift from Detica at this stage and almost as far from Lloyd's. Running out of time and course to catch the leaders, the world champions set off, leaving 90 other teams behind them, all struggling with this devilish bit of course design.
Easy?
No, it's really hard. It's really hard to spot them. They're sort of blending in so well.
Microsoft had dropped down the rankings, but it was still thumbs up from the early leaders, with the trails ripping tyres apart and the brain cell ripping strategies apart. Almost the only people smiling were Detica and this guy. Let's find out if Detica would keep smiling though, with Rob Walker.
Well, this is the moment that will separate the men from the boys. All the teams are coming to the end of the bike stage. They've now got to get their running shoes on, and they have a gruelling 6K to the last brain cell.
How's that cycle?
That's good actually, nice downhill.
You've got a good lead now.
Looks like it. Been very lucky on the puzzles so far.
Shoes, let's go.
Well, Ben Rankin, they do say the harder you work, the luckier you get, but you're going to need everything you've got for this 6K. And as they do up their shoelaces, Lloyd's TSB come in the background, and they're still smarting from their mistake at the previous brain cell. And we're yet to find out how expensive that mistake could be. But just take a look at this graphic. You'd almost need mountain climbing equipment to get up to brain cell 4.
All right, chaps.
Shocks away, old boy, that's the spirit. Lloyd's TSB just finishing with their bikes, and Airbus 83, the defending champions. They will be so upset that they lost time on that last brain cell, and now they have a chance for their athletic prowess to come to the fore. Well, we were joking about the mountain climbing equipment, but that's a good tactic from Detica, ensuring that nobody falls behind.
Cool, thanks very much. Where's Dave Bignell? Dave!
A 6K hill run would be hell for the leaders, but it was heaven sent for Airbus, who could use every step to grind away at Lloyd's TSB, who was soon overtaken and down in 3rd, and then to run down Detica. Tom Gibbs's boys soon caught the leaders, but having been caught, Detica were proving difficult to drop. With the final brain cell approaching and with the world champions under pressure, we rejoin Rob Walker.
Well, we said before today we were hoping for a gripping climax to this Intelligent Sport World Series event in mid-Wales. And my goodness me, we're in for just that. Detica and Airbus neck and neck coming into the last brain cell. Both these teams look absolutely exhausted, but they'll have to dig deep, and this is the puzzle they'll have to solve. It's a word search. We have put a list of cities up on the screen for you, and our teams will have to figure out how many European capitals there are. Now, whose tactics will be the winning ones? Is it the speed and the physical prowess of Airbus, or is it the puzzle-solving skills of Detica? Remember, none of the teams can see the list that's on your screen at the moment, and they know getting this right or getting this wrong will be the difference between the title or maybe second place. Well, it looks as though Airbus are going for an early answer. Detica are really thinking about this one. Airbus have gambled. Have they got it right? No, they haven't. And that is a disaster for Tom Gibbs and his team. They will spend an agonising 9 minutes in the brain cell. And it doesn't matter how fast you are at running if you're stuck in there. But, and this is the big but, can Detica solve this puzzle as Lloyds TSB come into the fray in third place? They've had a good run. And here comes the answer on your screen. Can Detica get there? Barcelona, Frankfurt and Geneva are not capital cities. Great places to visit, but that's of no concern to Detica. Have they got it right? Yes, they have. And that was the tricky element that may have brought Airbus unstuck. Not all of those cities were capitals. Detica now have an opportunity to become the UK champions. And all Airbus can do from their brain cell is stand and watch. These are agonising moments.
We've not had much luck this race, have we? We really haven't had much luck.
So Detica, 4 kilometres separating them from the title. Is their lead over Airbus going to be big enough?
Can you still catch them on the road?
No, not a chance.
Well, this was destined to be Detica's event. After 4 gruelling days of competition, they have won this round of the Intelligent Sport World Series. The crowd appreciate it, so do the runners. That was class.
Detica just had to keep on running and cross the dam one more time to take the win. They had the right balance of mind, body and strategy on the day.
It was quite exhausting, but yeah, you see as soon as you come around the corner and see the finish line and big smile on your face and you know you're almost there. Airbus are well behind.
Second's not bad, we'll take that. Bit disappointing because we were with them for so long, but that last puzzle just was a guess. We needed to get it right. They're a good team, they're good runners, they kept our pace and they got the puzzle right. Can't ask more than that, beaten by a better team on the day I suppose.
Early leaders Lloyds TSB were just nudged off the podium by BBT Surface Fleet. Accenture and AWE also slowed at the end, but 5th and 6th were customary top performances from them, with Airbus B, Sainsbury's, Ensoft and Accenture again rounding out the top 10.
Victory for Detica. They beat the Brain Cells and 94 other teams to take the prize here in the beautiful Welsh Mountains. Join us again next time on the Intelligent Sports World Series.